This is Catholic Challenge, Teen Edition, on the Living Bread Radio Network. Teens will test their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Join us on this journey as we navigate our way from BC to AD and everything in between. Today's defenders of the faith will take up their shield and sword to compete for prize money and a chance to move on to the next round of competition. Are you ready for the challenge? And now, here's your host, Michael Roberts.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network. Today we have two teams that will compete, testing their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Each team is playing for their favorite Catholic charity, and whoever wins today will earn $200 for that charity and the opportunity to advance to the next round. So today we welcome Eva Klockner and Brianna McCarran. They are playing for Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron. Also, we have Liam Martin and Simon Mansour. They are homeschool students that are playing for the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. So teams, welcome. Nice to have you with us here. Before we begin, though, we need to find out how to play the game, and so let's hear the rules.
In round one, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 10 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, let's begin with round one. And Hoban, we will start with you. Eva Klockner, you are the team captain, and round one begins for you right now. Here's question number 1. The Catholic Church is known as which of these? The remnant, the bride of Christ, or the holy ones?
The bride of Christ.
You got it. Here's question number 2, and it's true or false. Ezra, the son of David, built the great temple in Jerusalem. True or false?
False.
Yeah, the temple was built by King Solomon, not Ezra. Question number 3, the Old Testament event from the book of Exodus, which prefigures the Holy Mass, is what? The Feast of the Sabbath, the Passover, or the Day of Atonement?
The Passover.
Yeah, that's it. Here's question number 4. This American saint was born into a wealthy Philadelphia family. She was known for establishing missions to blacks and Native Americans. Catherine Drexel, Kateri Tekakwitha, or Frances Cabrini?
Catherine Drexel.
Her feast day is March 3rd, Catherine Drexel. Question number 5, here we go. Which New Testament book begins, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God"? Genesis, Exodus, or the Gospel of John?
The Gospel of John.
You got it. And you got all 5 of those right, Hoban, so we move on now to the bonus question, and here it is. The penitential Psalm 51, "Have mercy on me, O God, in your goodness," was written by which king asking God for forgiveness? King David, King Zedekiah, or King Ahab?
David.
You got it, and that is a round 1 sweep for you, Hoban. Congratulations on that. All right, we move over now to the other team playing here this time around, and it is the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. Liam Martin, you are the team captain, and round 1 begins for you right now. Question number 1, which pope wrote a collection of talks entitled The Theology of the Body, which focus on God's design for human sexuality? Pope Francis, Pope Benedict XVI, or St. John Paul II?
St. John Paul II.
Absolutely. Question number 2, it's true or false. Pilate's wife referred to Jesus as an innocent man because of a dream she had. True or false?
True.
Absolutely true. Here's question number 3. Which musical instrument did David play for Saul? A harp, a drum, or a piano?
A harp.
That is correct. Here's question number 4. A serpent spoke to Eve in the Garden of Eden. What animal spoke to Balaam in the book of Numbers? A lion, a donkey, or a dove?
A donkey.
You got it. Here's question number 5. The bishop says, "Be sealed with the gift of the Holy Spirit by while conferring which sacrament? Matrimony, holy orders, or confirmation?
Confirmation.
That is it. You got all 5 of those right. Let's move on now to the bonus question, and here it is. Esau in the Old Testament sold his birthright to his brother for what? A golden box, a bowl of stew, or an iron hammer?
A bowl of stew.
Wonder if the stew was any good. That is it. It is a round 1 sweep. It must have been because he sold his birthright. All right. At the end of round 1, we've got a tie here. Both teams at 75. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. When we come back, we are going to meet our contestants. You're listening to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition right here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
Prize money for Catholic Challenge is provided in part by Ziegler Tire, serving the listening area for 97 years and counting, with name brand tires and auto service that you can trust. Find out more at ZieglerTire.com.
Since 1960, the aim of Walsh University has been to develop students' mind, body, and spirit. That belief has called them to help support Catholic Challenge. Walsh University, a proud sponsor of Catholic Challenge. Find out more at walsh.edu.
And welcome back to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network. I'm your host, Michael Roberts. Today, our competitors are Eva Klockner and Brianna McCarran from Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron. And we've got Liam Martin and Simon Mansour. They are homeschool students playing for the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. So team, once again, we want to thank you for joining us and being with us here today. We want to take a minute to meet you. So Hoban, we'll begin with you. Eva Klockner, you are the team captain. Tell us a little bit about you and your partner, if you would.
My name is Eva Klockner. I'm from Hoban. We are both from Hoban. We are playing for Project Hope today. It's the organization through Hoban that goes to feed the homeless in Akron and have conversations with them and get to know about their lives. I am involved in drama and mock trial at Hoban, and Brianna is also involved in drama, and she does self-defense outside of school.
All right. What grade are you guys in, and what parishes do you go to?
I am in 9th grade, and I go to Queen of Heaven, and Brianna is in 10th grade, and she goes to St. Sebastian. All
right. Well, guys, thanks for playing, and thanks again for being here. Let's go over to the other side of the room. Liam Martin is the team captain. They're homeschool students playing for the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. And Liam, before we go any further, I know you're playing in memory of someone today. Who is that? And tell us a little bit about that.
Evie Gerber, daughter of Dr. Chad Gerber at Walsh University, was part of our homeschool group until she died suddenly in October 2015. And she gave a lot to Friends of Kenyan Orphans while she was alive, and people have donated since her death in her name.
So it's only appropriate that you're here playing for her today in her memory.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for that. That's really touching. Tell us a little about you, if you would, Liam, and your partner, Simon.
I am 14, and Simon's 13. We're both in 8th grade. I'm a fencer, so stab people with swords. Simon is a Star Scout rank in the Boy Scouts with Troop 215 at St. Francis de Sales Parish in Akron. He belongs to St. Bernard, and I belong to Sacred Heart in Wadsworth.
Okay.
We're both altar servers at different places. I do the Latin Mass, too, at St. Sebastian. He's at St. Bernard's. So,
tell me a little bit more about the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. I'd like to know more about that organization.
Friends of Kenyan Orphans promotes the rescue and education of Kenyan orphans, as the name implies.
Sure.
They support a dignified life for orphaned and abandoned girls by providing basic human needs of food, shelter, clothing, education, and health care within a safe and caring environment.
Okay. Well, it's very nice that you guys are playing for that organization, and thanks again for being here. All right. We're just about ready to move on now to the next round, but before we do that, though, let's get the rules.
In round 2, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 15 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There's no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, Hoban, you will go first. Eva Klockner, team captain, round 2 starts for you right now. And it's true or false. Habakkuk is a book in the Old Testament. True or false?
False.
No, Habakkuk is indeed a book in the Old Testament. Here's question number 2. What was the name of the apostle who replaced Judas? Anthony, Joseph, or Matthias?
Matthias.
Absolutely. Here's question number 3. What part of Adam's body did God remove to make Eve? Hair, fingernail, or a rib?
A rib.
That is it. Here's question number 4. The 8th commandment requires us to tell the truth at all times, be kind to our parents, or love our neighbors.
Tell the truth at all times.
Yeah, that's it. And here's question number 5 for you. With whom did King David commit adultery, then had her husband killed in battle? Ruth, Deborah, or Bathsheba?
Bathsheba.
That is it. All right. And at the end of round 2, Hoban, you have 135 points. We move over now to Friends of Kenyan Orphans. You have 75 points. Liam Martin, you are the team captain, and round 2 begins for you right now. True or false? Christ instituted only the sacraments of baptism and the Eucharist. The other 5 sacraments were instituted by the Church. True or false?
False.
Absolutely right. Christ instituted all of the sacraments. Here's question number 2. The papal nuncio to the capital of a foreign government is usually which one of these? A Swiss guard, a cardinal, or an attorney?
A cardinal.
That's it. Here's question number 3. Which commandment requires us to honor our parents? The first, 10th, or 4th commandment?
The 4th.
You got it. Here's question number 4. He converted Ireland and banished all snakes from the country. His feast day is March 17th. St. Patrick, St. Blaise, or St. George?
St. Patrick.
Yeah, you got it. And here's question number 5. What does the name Emmanuel mean? God saves, God with us, or God alone?
God with us.
Emmanuel, God with us. You got all 5 of those right. Let's move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. The celebration of the Epiphany refers to what event? Jesus' baptism, Mary's fiat, or the visitation of the Magi?
The visitation of the Magi.
Absolutely, and that is a round 2 sweep for you, Friends of Kenyan Orphans. You now have 175 points. Again, Hoban, you have 135 points. Well, we're almost ready to move in to round 3, but before we do, I'd like to take a moment and thank our generous sponsors. You know, these sponsors have provided all the prize monies for our program, and we want to give special thanks to Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, and Walsh University. We are so thankful to have these great organizations continue to partner with us to help all of you learn more about the Catholic faith. So thank you to our sponsors. All right, now on to round number 3. Let's hear the rules.
In round 3, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 20 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, Hoban, you go first. Eva Klockner, team captain, round 3 starts right now. Question number 1. On which mountain were the Israelites given the 10 Commandments? Mount Everest, Mount Calvary, or Mount Sinai?
Mount Sinai.
Yeah, that's it. Here's question number 2, and it's true or false. Moses led the Hebrews out of slavery, but he did not enter the promised land. True or false?
True.
Absolutely true. Here's question number 3. True contrition for our sins involves what? Sorrow, ignorance, or meditation?
Sorrow.
That's it. Here's question number 4. Which doctor of the church was the first monk to become pope? He also had a type of music named after him. St. Lawrence, St. Anthony, or St. Gregory?
St. Gregory.
And of course, we're talking about Gregorian chant, St. Gregory. Question number 5. On what day did the apostles receive the Holy Spirit? Pentecost, Easter, or Christmas?
Pentecost.
Absolutely. All right, you got all 5 of those right, Hoban. Let's move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. In the book of Daniel, what happened to the 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because they refused to worship the statue set up by Nebuchadnezzar? Were they imprisoned, thrown in a furnace, or stoned to death?
Thrown in a furnace.
You got it, and those are hard words to pronounce, too. I pity any lector that has to read that reading at church. All right, Hoban, there you go. That is a round 3 sweep. You have 260 points. Congratulations on that. We move over now to Friends of Kenyan Orphans. You have 175 points. And Liam, round 3 starts for you right now. Question number 1. Which disciple tried to walk on water as Jesus did? John, Thomas, or Peter?
Peter.
St. Peter. Here's question number 2, and it's true or false. To be Christian, one must believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. True or false?
True.
Absolutely. Here's question number 3. Who is the mother of St. John the Baptist and is also the patron saint of pregnant women? St. Anne, St. Martha, or St. Elizabeth?
St. Elizabeth.
And we celebrate her feast day on November 5th, St. Elizabeth. Here's question number 4. Who did Jesus say was the father of lies? Judas, the devil, or Hitler?
The devil.
Absolutely. Here's question number 5. The 10 Commandments are also known as what? The Decalogue, the Rule of Life, or the Law?
The Decalogue.
Deca, 10, the 10 Commandments. Absolutely. All right, you got all 5 of those right. Let's move on to that bonus question. Here it is. What were the religious leaders called who continually tried to trap Jesus with their questions? The Levites, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, or the temple guards?
The Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Yeah, you got it. And that is a round 3 sweep for you, Friends of Kenyan Orphans. All right, you now have 300 points. Once again, Hoban, you have 260 points. It is time now for another quick break. But before we leave you, let's give you, our listening audience, a question. And here it is. Where in the Bible is found the phrase, "The Lord helps those who help themselves"? We'll give you the answer after the break. Go nowhere. You're listening to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
St. Raphael Bookstore is a proud financial sponsor of Catholic Challenge, the one-stop shop for defenders of the faith. Their resources are geared toward lifelong and new members of the faith. Online at catholicbook.net.
Local programming on the Living Bread Radio Network brings the Catholic community together, like daily reflections from a local clergy member and local Catholic events on our community calendar. We're here for you at the Living Bread Radio Network.
Welcome back to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network. So before the break, we left you with a question. Where in the Bible is found the phrase, "The Lord helps those who help themselves"? Well, it's a trick question because it's not in the Bible. Actually, the phrase is usually attributed to Ben Franklin because it was quoted in the Poor Richard Almanac in 1757, but it is not in the Bible. All right, we've got a great game going. Friends of Kenyan Orphans, you have 300 points. Hoban, you have 260. Still very much anyone's game. And it is time now for the challenge round. It's a little different, so let's hear the rules.
This final round combines knowledge and speed. The first team to ring in may answer the question. If the contestants ring in before the host is finished asking the question, the host will not finish reading the question. If the answer is incorrect, no points are lost, but the other team will have the opportunity to hear the question in its entirety. Correct answers are worth 30 points each. There are 15 questions in the challenge round, and in case of a tie at the end of this round, we will have a tiebreaker question. The team with the most points at the end of this round will be awarded $200 for their organization and will move on to the next round of competition. and the losing team will be awarded $50 for their organization.
All right, contestants, hands on your buzzers. The challenge round starts right now. Question number 1. What is it called when a person or a group of people are personally received by the Pope?
An
Kenyan.
audience?
Kenyan.
An audience?
A papal audience, absolutely. Here's question number 2. The term Theotokos means God-bearer. Kenyan.
Yeah, true, it's God-bearer.
Okay, I'll reread the question for you, Hoban, and give you an opportunity to answer. The term Theotokos means God-bearer. To whom does it refer?
Virgin Mary.
The Mother of God, the Virgin Mary. Here's question number 3. What does the acronym RCIA stand for? Kenyan.
Rite of Christian Initiation for adults.
You got it. Here's question number 4. What specific prayer did Our Lady request each of the 6 times she appeared at Fatima? Kenyan.
The Rosary.
The Daily Rosary, absolutely. Here's question number 5. What did the Second Vatican Council call the source and summit of Christian life?
The
Kenyan.
Mass. The Mass.
All right, Hoban, I'll reread the question and give you the opportunity to answer. What did the Second Vatican Council call the source and summit of Christian life?
The Eucharist.
Ah, you got it. It is the Eucharist. All right. Kenyan, you are in the lead with 390. Hoban, you are trailing with 320. Let's continue on now with the bonus round, or the challenge round, rather. And here we go. Question number 6. From which country did Moses help the Israelites escape from their lives of slavery? Kenyan.
Egypt.
Correct. Number 7. Who was the 4th person in the fiery furnace along with Daniel's friends? Kenyan.
An angel or God.
Absolutely. Here's question number 8. How many chapters are there in the book of Psalms? Hoban.
150.
You got it. Question number 9. Another word for universal in describing the church is what? Kenyan.
Catholic.
Catholic means universal. Question number 10. Which saint is pictured slaying a dragon and is the favorite saint of England? Kenyan.
St. George.
St. George the Martyr, that's it. And Kenyan, you are in the lead with 510. Hoban, you're trailing with 350. Here we go. Question number 11. The 3 vows that persons living in religious communities or consecrated... Hoban.
Poverty, chastity, and obedience.
That is right. Poverty, chastity, and obedience. All right. Here's question number 12. In what approved apparitions did the Blessed Mother appear to the 3 small children in Portugal? Kenyan.
Fatima.
Fatima. Here's question number 13. What is the name of the Old Testament city that Joshua and the Israelites destroyed? Kenyan.
Jericho.
By marching around it 7 times, it was Jericho. Here's question number 14. According to the book of Acts, how many people were converted on the first Pentecost? Kenyan.
3,000.
About 3,000, that's it. And here's question number 15. Before Matthew began to follow Christ, what was his profession?
Tax
Kenyan.
collector. Tax collector.
You got it. All right. And congratulations to you, friends of Kenyan Orphans. You have 630 points. Liam Martin and Simon Mansour, you move on to the next round, and you've won $200 for the Friends of Kenyan Orphans. Thank you also to Eva Klockner and Brianna McCarran from Archbishop Hoban High School. A donation of $50 will be given to Hoban on your behalf. Special thanks also to our sponsors, Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, and Walsh University, whose generous support provides our prize money. Don't forget to go to livingbreadradio.com to follow the Catholic Challenge scores and brackets. You can also listen to an audio archive of this program. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'm Michael Roberts, and until next time, do your part and defend the faith. We'll see you next week for another edition of Catholic Challenge, right here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
You've been listening to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition, a production of the Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio. If you'd like to be a part of the program, email quiz@livingbreadradio.com. For a podcast of this show, go to livingbreadradio.com and join us next time for another edition of Catholic Challenge Teen Edition.